Worship is God's first rule for his people. This is the main question, in fact, of the Bible. Will you bow down to the true God or to a foreign God? As Psalm 81 verse 9 puts it, something you think is better than God, more worthy of your allegiance, better able to fulfill your plans for your life. Will you seek that, or will you worship the true God? God commands his people to offer him exuberant praise at the beginning of Psalm 81. Worship is repeatedly commanded and is called a statute and a rule in verse 4. And God gives two reasons for this rule. First, he relieves his people from misery. He lovingly brought them out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slavery, so that they would serve no other gods, as Exodus 20 puts it. Second, he proves himself faithful. Verse 7 says that God tested Israel at the waters of Meribah. The test was this: will you trust me and worship me even when you think I have failed you? God passed that test valiantly. He showed himself holy, worthy of our trust and our worship. But many Israelites failed that test. They didn't care about God's kindness. Because they would not submit to God, verse 12 says, God gave them over to their stubborn hearts to follow their own counsels. That's tragic because God wanted something better for his people, to subdue their enemies, verse 14, and give them not just water, but honey from the rock. Everything this psalm says to Israel, it says louder to us. At Meribah, the Israelites asked, is the Lord among us or not? As Exodus 17:7 records. He was with them. They drank from the rock of Christ, as Paul says in 1 Corinthians 10 verse 4. But today it's even more clear. In Christ and by his Spirit, God is fully among us. So we can have no greater rule than the worship of God in the congregation. Matthew Henry commented on Psalm 81 in this way: no time is amiss for praising God, but sometimes are appointed for us to meet together that we may join together in praising God. To do that, you need to be convinced that God is worthy of your regular, wholehearted, sacrificial praise. You can't gain for yourself by choosing your own way a better blessing than what God offers. Instead, disobeying God's call to worship may lead you to follow your own counsel into materialism and secularism, as James Boyce puts it. Perhaps not in your day, but perhaps in the day of your children or grandchildren. But believers know that God is worthy of our praise. He alone can satisfy our longings, and there is no substitute for corporate worship, for meeting this God and receiving his blessings. Here's Psalm 81. To the choir master, according to the Gittith of Asaph, sing aloud to God our strength. Shout for joy to the God of Jacob. Raise a song. Sound the tambourine, the sweet lyre with the harp. Blow the trumpet at the new moon, at the full moon on our feast day. For it is a statute for Israel, a rule for the God of Jacob. He made a decree in Joseph when he went out over the land of Egypt. I hear a language I had not known. I relieved your shoulder of the burden. Your hands were freed from the basket. In distress you called, and I delivered you. I answered you in the secret place of thunder. I tested you at the waters of Meribah, Selah. Hear, O my people, while I admonish you. O Israel, if you would but listen to me. There shall be no strange God among you. You shall not bow down to a foreign God. I am the Lord your God, who brought you up out of the land of Egypt. Open your mouth wide, and I will fill it. But my people did not listen to my voice. Israel would not submit to me. So I gave them over to their stubborn hearts to follow their own counsels. Oh, that my people would listen to me, that Israel would walk in my ways. I would soon subdue their enemies and turn my hand against their foes. Those who hate the Lord would cringe toward him, and their fate would last forever. But he would feed you with the finest of the rock, and with honey from the rock I would satisfy you.